Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Playing World of Tanks. I'm AJ, and today we'll be looking at a game that I had in my TVP 50, which is the Czech Tier 9 medium tank. Now right off the bat, what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna run up to the middle of the ridge and see if I can spot something and essentially unload my 3 shots into them and go back into cover. Now essentially, if you're playing on the other side of this map, you should actually screen this area so that your heavies can get into the city relatively unscathed if you're driving a medium tank. And this is pretty much the reason why you should be actually doing that. 3 shots into the Oni and he gets ammo racked and taken out, and that is 1500 damage that we did just to take 1 shot in return right off the bat. Next up, I'm still trying to figure out what to do next once I do reload my next clip. Now essentially I move forward to see if I can spot something again and maybe put 3 more shots into it, completely forgetting that I don't have 6th Sense on this tank right now, since I actually moved the crew over, and basically the commander has been trained to about 80%, and I'm waiting for a ×2 crew XP weekend to sort of scale it up. But anyways, I am actually spotted. I actually don't know this, and I take Enveloping in return. The only thing I can do at that point is just to go back into cover and, plot my next move again. Now I see like how far back our heavies have committed to this flank, and I absolutely don't want to stay just to find whether their heavies are moved up or not, because essentially when I'll find out is when they actually shoot at me. So I decide now is the perfect opportunity to push the other flank, since they have actually pushed up all the way, and I guess assisting them over there would actually be the best play for me right now. So again, I stop at relative distance in these bushes, hoping that somebody's going to peek over the ridge and I'll be able to put some shots into them. And to our surprise, there is actually somebody poking over the ridge. We put 3 shots into him. I track him with my first shot, and my last shot that basically he used up his repair kit and he gets taken out for his effort. Now the TVP is not the kind of tank that you can play very aggressively. You still have to be in somewhat of a second line or behind some kind of cover to sort of like take advantage of the reload of this thing and unload more. If you're up front all the time, you're eventually going to die just because people are just going to focus you down and you're just going to lose too many hit points. Now as I move forward, I'm trying to find what the best approach is to actually taking out the enemies on this flank. I decide to go down where the AMX 5120 is and then come up, since nobody's contesting the ridge in front of him. Now as I get down into the ditch, I see the SU-152 moving into place. I put my 1 shot into him, setting him on fire. The fire actually takes out the SU-152 and I don't have to fire my remaining shots into him. Next, I turn my attention to the super pushing on this flank, who ambushes me almost, and unfortunately for me, I didn't put my shots in him with any great success, and I take a shot in return and I just crack him and back off so I can actually reload without him putting more shots into me. Now at this point I was trying to figure out which enemy tank should I target next. I was thinking of maybe going for the targets in the back, and the reason for that is most of them were thinly armored. I thought I could pull all my shots into them, but when the M46 KR on our team just tries to focus down the super Pershing in front of him, I decided it would be prudent to help him take out the super Pershing and then focus on the targets in the back. I put my first shot into his track, so the M46 has an easier time getting behind him, and then I put my remaining shots in his side and he gets taken out. Now at this point I take out the AFK tank that's sitting in the open, and at that point I proceed towards the other flank, just because I know there's not really any enemies left over here, and the one enemy that is left in the corner is going to be dealt with by our team, so there's no need to sort of stick around and figure out whether he's going to die or not. And during my transition over to the other flank, I sort of force reload the autoloader on this tank, just because it's really fast in reloading, 20 seconds, and I don't think I was going to be there before that anyways. As we are transitioning towards the other flank, we are slowly picking off people who are coming back for resets and stuff like that, and the first tank that sort of like presents himself in the open and, essentially side on is the E75, who was trying to take shot at something in the middle. I essentially put my 2 shots into him. I don't aim the the second shot that carefully, or I would have actually penned all 3 shots, but I would take 2 shots of damage at this point. Again, with the next clip, as soon as I'm reloaded, I'm trying to see which tank I would focus down next. Again, with the TVP, the penetration is not stellar for a tier 10 gun. It is 248 pen. Generally, like most tier 10 guns, you get like 260-ish pen. So you have to be careful that you can't just brute force your way through a lot of tanks that you would otherwise just shoot at their front end and they would just pen automatically. So that's sort of like the reason how they've, I think, balanced the TVP. And so the next tank is the 4KB5, and excuse me, I fired my first shot into him, which does damage. I have to aim carefully because KB5 actually has armor, and I put my remaining shots into him, taking him out of the game. After that, we have the other KB5 driving out in front of us, and I just rush to put whatever shots I can, just because I know the team is going to tap out. And as soon as the KB5 dies, I run out of time to actually put my remaining shot into the IS-3A. But that secures us 6 kills. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode of Playing World of Tanks.